You know one thing I haven't thought about in a while? Fucking Land Before Time.
Should we save
Did you
this
ever
for
watch
the
those?
actual podcast? Did I ever?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. We in. Welcome to the Chris and Kyle show. That's Chris.
Yep.
And it's his birthday.
It is.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man.
For like a few more hours. So we are late this week. Oh, wait, I'm Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters. We're late this week because we wanted to wait and see what happened with this whole NBA China traversy.
That and fucking...
And there's construction being done on our building, so it like made it even harder.
It's like that one episode of New Girl.
But yeah, on Sunday, I was like, we should wait until the Lakers and Nets get back from China and see if any of the coaches or players have anything to say. And I would say it was probably worth waiting after LeBron yesterday.
Yeah, let's dive into it.
So yeah, let's just kick off.
As glad
with
as
that.
I am that we waited, I'm not glad about the current situation. How disappointed are you in LeBron right now?
Let's get to that later. I want to go. I want to go from the very beginning
because we haven't really recapped this at all. Right?
This started like the day before we did our NBA preview, or like the day of our NBA preview.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a chance to really talk about it at all. And I think it's kind of important to, even before the NBA stuff, figure out what's going on in Hong Kong as best we can. Obviously, me and you are fucking idiots and we're dumb, but
yeah.
I can read articles.
I
can read articles and relay information.
I'm like a quarter of the way to my bachelor's degree.
That's farther than me. I was like 1/24th maybe.
I just took my poli-sci midterm, which is
did you pass?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like primarily based off of movies.
That is kind of weird. That's
movies
true.
that I've already seen.
Yeah. Okay, so in Hong Kong, the people of Hong Kong have been protesting against the legislative council of the city called LegCo, because there was a law being put on the table that would make extradition out of Hong Kong into mainland China easier. This is all super weird because in 1997, Hong Kong was given back to China under the two systems, one country rule, which is, whoever thought that was going to work? That just seems like a horrible idea. Anyway, under the weird regime, Hong Kong was given more freedoms and liberties than the rest of China. There's like they have a bit more freedom there. This law they were trying to pass was going to make it easier to extradite criminals out of Hong Kong into China. And the reason people were so mad about this is because they thought it could be abused by the Chinese government to take people in Hong Kong who are critical of the Chinese government, and they could basically, quote unquote, disappear them. Which, I mean, I've seen like 24 and shows like that. That seems like a reasonable thing an evil government would do. The Chinese protesters, this has been going on for like 4 months. They have 5 demands. Do you know what they are?
Is it freedoms?
Kind of. The first one, full withdrawal of the extradition bill. Makes sense. It's the thing that triggered everything. Apparently, the bill has been declared dead. They were like, okay, we won't do this bill, but they haven't gone through the actual official formal withdrawal process in the government. So they're like, hey, you still haven't actually killed the bill. Number 2, a commission of inquiry into alleged police brutality. When the protests first started, there was the protesters say that police used excessive force against them despite their right to protest. And they want that looked into, but the part is they don't trust the people in charge of looking into that, which is called the Independent Police Complaints Council, which that's its own egg to crack, I would assume. Number 3, retracting the classification of protesters as rioters. The specific term rioter is really important because apparently in China you can be jailed for up to 10 years for being a rioter. So they don't want to be called that. Number 4, amnesty for arrested protesters. More than 700 people have been arrested in connection with the protests so far, charged with crimes ranging from illegal assembly and assaulting police to rioting, which we just learned rioting, 10 years in prison. And the last one, number 5, dual universal suffrage, meaning for both the Legislative Council and the Chief Executive, which is like the group in charge of Hong Kong and like the dude in charge. And basically, this article that I found points out that the people of Hong Kong only get to vote directly for half of the seats on the council that rules them. The other half are chosen by like businesses and corporations and stuff, which obviously that seems pretty corrupt and damning. And then the chief executive, is elected by a 1,200 member committee. Of that 1,200 member committee, only 300 of it are members of the legislative council. And we already know that half of those people are just businesses and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like super weird. That's the Hong Kong protest in and of itself. Why does this connect to the NBA, and why are we talking about it despite being idiots and not knowing anything about foreign governments or policy or anything? Because Daryl Morey, I've heard people, is it Morey or Maury? I thought it was Morey.
How is Moray eel spelled?
I think it's with an A.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive. Anyway.
Morey.
Daryl Morey on October 4th tweeted a fat 7-word tweet. It said, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." That's all the tweet said. This has blown up into a 2-week crisis, basically, between not just like for sports, but for like China.
Right.
As a country. It's wild what's gone on. Daryl Morey tweeted that immediately. Tillman Fertitta, owner of the Houston Rockets, tweeted, "Listen, Daryl Morey does not speak for the Houston Rockets. Our presence in Tokyo is all about the promotion of the NBA internationally, and we are not a political organization." Immediately tweeted that. It was reported that behind closed doors, he was super heated and came really close to firing Daryl Morey over this, which, I mean, that's hardcore. China reacted pretty quickly as well. They released statements being, we don't like what the Rockets are. They basically wanted Daryl Morey fired. And they were like, if you get rid of this guy, we'll be good. But they have essentially pulled a lot of their connection to the NBA and especially the Rockets out by way of sponsorship money. Tencent, the broadcasting partner that works directly with the NBA in China, they paid the league $1.5 billion to air their games. They suspended all Rockets broadcasts. They will not show any Rockets games anymore. What is it? What's the shoe company? Li Ning and Anta, the two shoe sports apparel companies. Li Ning, and who has deals with Dwayne Wade and CJ McCollum. Anta, who has Klay Thompson. They said they will no longer work with Rockets players, which, I mean, those aren't Rockets players, but you never know. And there was more. Apparently, Kyle Kuzma lost out on like $1 million sponsorship while he was there. Other players have been affected monetarily by this. And the league, it has the potential to lose something like, what was the number I saw? I think it was like 15% of their income or something comes from China.
Right. Which
that would directly affect player salaries, obviously what the owners make, coach salaries, salary cap directly would be affected, all these kinds of things. Daryl Morey did apologize, but it was basically one of those things where he was like, I didn't mean to make anybody angry. You know what I mean? I've got the tweet. It was 3 tweets he sent. He said, "I did not intend my tweet to cause any offense to Rockets fans and friends of mine in China. I was merely voicing one thought based on one interpretation of one complicated event. I have had a lot of opportunities since that tweet to hear and consider other perspectives. I have always appreciated the significant support of our Chinese fans and sponsors have provided, and I would hope that those who are upset will know that offending or misunderstanding them was not my intention. My tweets are my own and in no way represent the Rockets or the NBA." Some PR tweeting right there.
Yeah.
In which he never says, "I didn't mean what I said." Right? Yeah. There was a lot of responses since then. Adam Silver released a statement that people got very upset about, and he was forced to make then a second statement that sort of reaffirmed his stance that Daryl Morey does have the right to freedom of expression and saying what he means, and he will never take that away from anyone in the NBA. But at the same time, there was heavy underlying read between the lines sort of stuff of, we make a lot of money from China and we don't want to fuck with it. This is where I think the source of a lot of the anger is coming from, is the money. Skipping, get to blah-de-blue-de-blah. LeBron James, October 14th, 2 days ago as of this recording. LeBron came back from China. They were in China, the Nets and the Lakers, for preseason games and events. All the events were canceled. All media availability was canceled. Adam Silver's media availability was canceled. They played the preseason games, but there was no sponsorships on the court. There was no, there's nothing. They basically just played a game, and they didn't air it in China. It was only aired in the U.S. LeBron came back and was asked how he felt about everything that happened, and he basically called out Daryl Morey. It's the best way to describe it, I think. I'm trying to see if the full quote is here. I don't want to like play the video, but he said, "I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand," and he spoke. And he said a lot more. That's not enough context. I don't really feel comfortable that being the only context. He later took to Twitter to like clarify what he meant, and what he ended up saying later was like, "I didn't mean that Daryl Morey wasn't educated about what was going on in Hong Kong. I meant he didn't think about the ramifications of saying that then while there were NBA people in China, and that it made the players feel unsafe. He didn't feel right that there was 19-year-old rookies that had the potential of being asked about these kinds of things. Apparently there was a closed door meeting between players and Adam Silver where the NBA side was saying that the players should come out and sort of say some things to be the face of this, and LeBron pushed back really hard against that, saying that it should be the NBA's job and that it shouldn't be up to 19 and 20-year-old somethings to be asked questions like this. The thing people are so mad about is that it seems really hypocritical of LeBron to from everything from Trayvon Martin to opening his own school to calling out the Donald Trump to just last week or the week before, he was recording for his show on HBO the signing of the new California bill that allows college athletes to make money off their own likeness. Just he's so involved in so many social and progressive ideas, and he's so vocal about all of these things that the idea that LeBron James would tell someone else that they can't stand up and talk about something that they believe in and are passionate in is super hypocritical. And everyone basically can tell and infers from what he said and knows that it's because of the bottom line.
Yeah. And because of that, it's incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
Right? It's incredibly disappointing. I think we're both really good. We're really big LeBron fans.
Yeah, obviously.
I think is the most disappointing because so often, it's easy to judge, right? It's easy to judge someone in this situation. I have no idea fucking what it would be like to try and speak out against an issue that could potentially cost you $1 billion, right?
Well, it opens up another can of worms, right? Because not only does LeBron have, business ventures and the whole NBA is connected to China, but LeBron also has a lifetime deal with Nike, who have their own shady stuff with China and child labor and cheap labor and stuff like that. And it all gets really murky.
Right. It's just, but I think what's most disappointing about it is that when you see someone in a situation where they have something to lose, right, when in order to speak out against an issue, right, that he backs down.
So I'm not going to go as far as some people have, where the idea that because LeBron James has points of view on some subjects means he has to have points of view on all subjects. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's true. And I'm not going to be like the people who are mad at Steve Kerr for saying, he wants to educate himself on everything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, with saying that. But I do think that it's just so transparently about the bottom line that it becomes morally bankrupt.
That's why it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Is because that they're not saying this because they feel uninformed, right?
Yeah.
The only reason they feel uninformed is because they're afraid to speak out against an issue like this
because of
the
repercussions,
the
financial repercussions,
ramifications of speaking out.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
really disappointing.
It's really fucked up, really disappointing.
Was there a part of you that is there a part of you that wishes the NBA would just go full Captain America?
Fuck yeah.
Wouldn't it be awesome?
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. If the players united in this, it's weird. It's this coincides with another really modern idea, and we're seeing it with the presidential Democratic debates of there's a lot of the Democratic candidates are honing their sights on billionaires and the idea that being a billionaire is unnecessary, essentially, and they shouldn't exist. Which that's its own topic to debate and talk about. But it's the idea of like, don't you have enough money at a certain point? And like, where's the line where you're willing to sacrifice your morality or what's right just to keep making more money? And this is the thing that people argue about, the downfalls of capitalism, and in this case, the moral bankruptcy of the NBA in this situation. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating. And like, I don't want to be the type of person who's like, no, like you don't deserve to make money people will give you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, a lot of these people are in a place financially where they could take a stand for what's right.
Right. Yeah. And
when you have both Republican and Democratic political leaders calling you out at the same time for the same thing, you probably did something wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to the NBA. Right. Senators and governors and mayors and presidential candidates and the president, all of them taking shots at the NBA over this.
Right. But because it's easy to. Mm-hmm. And I think it's way much easier to judge than it is to actually make the decision. Because, there is a huge part of me that's like, man, what if like fucking like all of the Chris Pauls of the world and LeBron James, mm-hmm. like they fucking all of the most representative members of the NBA Players Union, right, met up with the NBA as an organization and said, hey, look, all of us as players have agreed that we'll take 15% off of everything that we make in order for us to maintain our integrity and in order to represent freedom of speech and freedom of assembly mm-hmm. and freedom of the press
and democracy
and
anti-communism,
right?
Like,
because is well within fucking China's right to just say like, all right, well, fuck you guys, we're gonna just pull out all of, like that's they're private organizations, mm-hmm. right, which aren't really private in China, right, mm-hmm. but they should have the right to say like, oh well, fuck you, it's weak as shit, but they have that right. It's a bitch move, but they have that right. And it would just be, I don't know, there is a huge part of me that is an idealist and wishes that was the case. That Adam Silver could just say, look, we love China. We've built a relationship with China for so long now. And, if they do pull out their support of mm-hmm. the NBA, then that's their prerogative.
Well, and here's the thing that I think could be a really interesting path. Like, and again, this is all, I don't think any of this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's all... money talks in these situations in the real world, and it's a bummer at times. But like they're doing so many things in other countries too. NBA Africa stuff in the summers. They're kicking one off in India now. The Rockets were in Japan at the same time. There's other places where the NBA is reaching out, and like why can't they just move their resources to these other places?
Right. Well, and not only that, right, but
you could make the power move if you're the NBA too.
I think that there's also might be some unintended collateral damage here, right? Like how many people are probably not going to, like how many fringe NBA fans were there, right? That are going to not domestically, right? That live in America who are supporting Hong Kong, right? And believe in democracy.
Weirdly, this blew up the whole issue. Like way more people know about what's going on, which I guess in and of itself, Daryl Morey, round of applause. Great work. I don't know if you knew it was going to get this big, but good work.
I've heard a lot of people, reporters of the NBA specifically, not like people who really talk a lot about geopolitical issues, right? But NBA reporters talking about like NBA is really just kind of waiting for this to blow over.
Yeah, they're just.
I don't think that's going to fucking happen.
I was going to ask you that. What do you think? Like, so this is a huge shadow looming over the beginning of the NBA season. We just did our preview last week. The regular season starts in a week. I think a week from today, or yesterday, something like that. This is a huge problem looming over. Like the Lakers and the Clippers, the new LA, the mecca of basketball now, the city of Los Angeles. is going to have this looming over it, and even more now because of what LeBron said.
Right.
And is that going to be something that deters excitement for this game and the beginning of the season? And how much is going to have to, because I mean, it's true. We live in the 24-hour news cycle era where things get churned around for 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, something like this, 2 weeks, because it keeps, adding on to itself, but eventually everything gets forgotten. Is that going to happen with this? Is there, are there going to be more people at games that bring in free Hong Kong signs and get kicked out of the arenas because of pre-established rules in all NBA arenas that there's no political signage allowed? That was kind of a weird, people got really mad about that at the Sixers preseason game.
Right.
But that it has been a rule for a long time of no political signage and stuff like that at games. Which, I mean, I get why they have a rule like that, but it's also like, don't you have the freedom to
Well, and like, what's the line?
Yeah.
Could you wear a Pooh Bear shirt?
Oh, everyone should wear Pooh Bear shirts. Well, I saw this today. What if at the Lakers-Clippers opener, what if just a massive free Hong Kong chant breaks out?
Well, so there's a Kickstarter campaign to actually.
I saw that, yeah. For shirts, right?
They want to give out free Hong Kong shirts at the Lakers-Clippers game. And I want to say that it has fucking like dozens
it blew
of thousands
out
of dollars.
A projected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can look that up,
I'll
real
look
quick.
it up, yeah.
But yeah, and it's happened already in specific arenas. I'm pretty sure it happened in the Wizards arena. There was people that had free Hong Kong signs and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this is the fucking mecca of basketball, really.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you don't count the New York Knicks,
MSG. Yeah. I guess Mecca is more MSG. This is like the center of basketball for the world now, because of the two teams that are here.
Yeah, this is the real mecca now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for 2019 basketball, this is the real mecca.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, mecca is probably the wrong word.
I don't know how to find this thing, dude.
By the way,
I'm not trained in
so
Google Foo.
If you have, I mean, how many people can fit into a basketball arena?
What are they, like 20,000?
Yeah, I wanted
something
to
like
say
that,
something like
around
that.
there.
Yeah. If you have 20,000, if you have 15,000,
even if half of them
10,000?
do it, even if a quarter of them do it,
right?
That's a lot of people,
right? Are you gonna kick all of them out?
Hell no. If a bunch of people start they wear jerseys and other apparel over those shirts and then they take them off, and they start chanting. No, they can't. You know how bad that would look?
Yeah,
it'd be insane. Yeah, that would be an amazing. Like, I'm almost like, part of me is excited to see if something like that happens at the game, more than the game itself, because we should be so excited about like this game and the season kicking off, the most unexpected season in forever. No one knows what's going to happen.
Just for basketball terms,
just in terms of basketball, yeah. Oh yeah, it's like, I don't know. And then you think about like, what if we just were fucking famous as shit in China? But it was like, it was our only source of income because nobody in America cares about us. But then we'd have to be like, listen, fuck off. Free Hong Kong. It's hard to, it's like, we talked about empathy on the Joker episode a lot. It's like hard to empathize with somebody in that situation. It's like hard to visualize it, I think.
Are you talking about with like the Chinese government?
No,
like are you trying to?
No, I'm talking about just being in the NBA, whether you're a player or whatever.
If you are LeBron James, it's hard to empathize with.
If there's so much to lose,
the amount of
because like think about LeBron, right? LeBron puts another thing, like just because LeBron hasn't stood up for this, it doesn't take away the other things that he's done. He's done amazing things in communities and with social works in his life, and he takes what he gets and he gives back. And there's a part of you that's like, well, if LeBron's getting less, can he give less? I don't know if that's necessarily true or not. It's complicated and it's fucked up. But I'm not going to be like, I hate LeBron. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
We're LeBron's moms.
Yeah.
And we're not mad. We're disappointed.
Yeah, man.
It's a wild story. This might be like, this is the biggest basketball story since Donald Sterling, for sure.
Right.
NBA story. This might be the biggest sports story in general.
Well, and it's just like, because it's also such a fucking, huge story worldwide.
Yeah,
period.
exactly.
Because this has been going
It's
on
more
for
than just basketball.
3 months at least.
4 months.
4 months now.
The Hong
in
Kong
Hong
protests. Yes.
That's why I have a hard time believing that this is just going to die out in the NBA.
True.
Especially because it's just something that's so close to home for everyone that's an American. Fucking like everything that you hear about as far as like there's the freedoms of democracy and the importance of it. Like this is an easy thing to side on, no matter what side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah,
if you're an American. So yeah, I don't think that's going to blow over anytime soon. And
I hope it doesn't. I hope that the NBA keeps getting pressured, because honestly, like businesses shouldn't be rewarded for. I don't want to call it blood money. That's like super dark, but like corrupt income almost. You know what I mean? Okay. Nike shouldn't be allowed to pay cheaper workers in China because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And those people are, if they were working in good working environments and stuff like that, that'd be one thing. But you hear all these stories about shitty work environments and stuff. It's just fucked up. I'm going to tell you another messed up basketball story. I don't know if you know anything about this. The Washington Mystics won the WNBA finals last week. You know that?
Okay. No, I didn't know.
Elena
Delle Donne. I did see that. I follow her on Instagram, and I saw a lot of pop.
League MVP Elena Delle Donne won a ring. Emma Miesemann won Finals MVP. Bench player, by the way. She's like their sixth woman.
Really?
Came off the bench and won Finals MVP.
Nice.
Elena Delle Donne played through the finals with 2 herniated discs and a torn labrum.
Holy shit.
She still went for 21-9 in the last game.
Oh, man.
Baller. Straight up baller, right? Listen to this crazy stuff I heard. I heard all this on Around the Horn last week. The Mystics won the finals, and then they didn't get to have a parade. Champions always have a parade. They didn't get to have a parade because so many of the players immediately had to leave America to go play for foreign teams because they don't make enough money in the WNBA. How insane is that? Listen to some of this crazy shit. The players in the WNBA get about 22% of the league revenue compared to what the NBA does is 50% split. 50 for players, 50 for ownership. 22%. That means that there is $11.7 million total salary in the WNBA. Total. Every team. That is less than Miles Plumlee makes in 1 year. The 119th highest paid NBA player.
Okay. Crazy.
Christy Tolliver, a player on the Mystics, is an assistant coach on the Wizards. She's only allowed to get paid $10,000 by the Wizards because the team is only allotted $50,000 in other work for the whole team, and Elena Delle Donne makes $40,000 of it. That's insane. That's so messed up. And a big story this past season was that the WNBA players are trying to negotiate a new CBA. And a whole part of their thing is they want to be treated like professional athletes. Like they want to be treated, their whole thing is that they want to be treated like the WNBA is the best women's basketball league in the world. And they deserve to be paid like that.
Right.
Which seems reasonable to me.
Yeah. I think that seems reasonable, but isn't the WNBA a sunk cost? This is the bad part of capitalism,
It's
right?
a sunk cost for the NBA. The NBA puts money into the WNBA. The WNBA is a sunk cost for the NBA because the NBA puts money into it, but they have their own income as well. Just from gates and sponsorships and stuff like that. I don't know the specifics of it all.
But so that's the issue, right? That's the issue. The WNBA doesn't make enough money,
I guess. Yeah,
and women's basketball is bigger overseas than it is in America.
Yeah,
right. It's kind of the shitty part about women's basketball in America is that like we have basketball was made in America, was invented in America.
Yeah.
Right. And we have the greatest basketball association in the world, in the entire world.
Best players in the world.
Right. And you would think that because it's such an American sport, and we already have the greatest promotion as far as men's basketball in the NBA, that, the Women's Basketball Association should be able to mimic that quality and mimic that hierarchy as far as it's like relative to the rest of the entire world as far as basketball quality, right? And I just don't think as of now, right, it's as marketable, right? Like, I don't think that it can't be.
It's also grown a lot, though. Did you know that?
I think so.
It's grown a lot like the past year or two.
I think people are respecting it more.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that it's a process.
Yeah.
And I think that the more attention that it gets and the more money that the WNBA makes, the more money that they're going to end up getting.
Yeah. They should lower the rims so people can dunk. That's what they should do.
You're being sarcastic.
I just think dunking is cool.
I do think dunking is cool, but WNBA players are actually like adamantly against
They're
it.
super skilled. One thing I
Incredibly
really
skilled.
love about the WNBA is like how much respect NBA players have for WNBA players.
Yeah.
They're like
because it's a different game.
They're like those women are fucking badass.
Yeah. They deserve respect.
Here's some
for
numbers
sure.
I just found on the revenue of the WNBA. ESPN pays the WNBA $25 million per season to broadcast games. Average attendance of a WNBA game in 2018 was 6,712 people per game. Given each team's attendance and minimum ticket prices, minimum gate revenue is at least $24.4 million. There's $50 million in revenue right there. WNBA teams have corporate sponsors, and those can be substantial. As recently reported, the Connecticut Sun earned 40% of their revenue just from sponsorships. Given what we know about the ESPN deal and the Sun's minimum gate revenue, these sponsorships increase Connecticut's revenue estimate from $4.95 million to $8.24 million. So just those numbers alone for that one team. If you had the regular NBA-style 50-50 split, you would be getting $4.12 million from every team. I don't know how many teams there are, but you should be getting more than $11 million to the players total. Still, like,
right.
I don't. It's messed up. I hope it gets fixed. I mean, just at the very least, they should have.
So you're saying there is enough money to go around?
There's more money to go around than is being shown right now, at least.
Okay. I don't understand if the WNBA is a sunk cost, right? Like if the.
I've heard that.
How?
I don't know if it's entirely true. I've heard that before.
Right.
I don't have a source for it.
Yeah.
Hold on. I mean, this is like prime. I mean, it's going on with the women's national team in soccer as well.
Right.
I mean, it's just like that one's extra crazy because they're way better than the men's team,
Yeah.
and the men's team gets so much more money than they do.
But it's also it's a weird. I don't know shit about soccer, right? I know a little bit more about basketball and how people get paid in basketball.
Well, the
you
women's
think-
national team, it's not about what they get paid, because I don't know if they're allowed to or if there's a fixed thing. For the actual national team, they get paid by their professional teams. It's
Yeah,
about
I'm
the
not
money
saying
that
about
gets put into the team, their travel costs, their facilities and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not talking about national team. I'm talking about professional NBA versus WNBA.
Yeah.
Like, I think most people would the gender
inequality debate.
inequality debate. Like, but
Equal pay debate.
right. But anybody who's like trying to fight for equal pay should an NBA player, right?
Peter just died.
No. Should all the players in the NBA get paid as the same as WNBA players? That's a tough question to answer because I would say no.
Yeah, no, I agree because the WNBA players don't claim that they should either. They say that they should get paid relative to their, they should get paid proportionately, not the same, but proportionately. Does that make sense?
No. So, well, proportionate to what?
To what the income of the league is.
Right.
So NBA makes
I say that's
X
fair.
million dollars.
WNBA,
we should get that 50-50 split. Our salaries should be higher than what exactly.
I'm completely
a
on board with
minimum level NBA salary makes more than the highest paid WNBA player.
and that's fair. I understand that, right? But if the WNBA isn't making money,
No, I totally understand that.
Where's that money
I
gonna
totally
come
understand,
from,
but I
you know?
also understand the proportionate thing.
Yeah.
If the NBA is structured this way, the WNBA should be structured the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on board with that. I can support that.
All right. I'm trying to think if there's other sports news. Jalen Ramsey got traded today. I don't know if you saw that.
To the Rams.
Hot take, not going to fix the Rams. Tell you that. Honestly,
what's wrong with the Rams, dude?
I think it honestly might. The Rams might be fucked.
Why?
In the last, let's say, 8 months, the Rams have made, in my opinion, a bunch of questionable decisions. The number one is they extended Jared Goff on a huge contract way before they had to. And Jared Goff just ain't that good. He's not. He's fine. He's fine. But he's not, highest paid player ever fine. This deal, they don't have a number one draft pick. They don't have a first round draft pick for the next 5 years. That's the opposite of tanking. Which is like hardcore. They're going to have to draft so well to keep, because the problem is, as your young players get older, you have to start paying them. This is what happened with the Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. They all walked because the Seahawks didn't want to pay them. And they paid Russell Wilson, so they couldn't have paid afford to pay all the defensive players. That was the right decision. Russell Wilson is currently the MVP of the NFL. He's playing out of his mind. He's incredible. But Jared Goff is not Russell Wilson. I don't think he ever will be Russell Wilson. They also relied super hard on this idea that Sean McVay is a super genius and the greatest coach of all time, and he's not. He's a really good coach. He's a really smart guy, but the NFL's kind of caught up with him this season, and they found a way to sort of negate his offensive attack from last year. And Todd Gurley got his huge extension 2 years ago, I think it was. Now he has knee problems. He has arthritis in his knee. He'll probably never be the same. So there's just a bunch of things going against them. And their problem, while their defense isn't great, hasn't been fantastic, their problem wasn't a cornerback issue. It was an offensive line and Jared Goff issue. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs this year.
Really?
They're 3-3 right now. They're in the same division as the, I want to say 5-0 49ers and the 4-1 Seahawks.
Fucking 49ers.
Balling.
Jesus.
The same thing might happen with them, dude. Except they already paid Jimmy Garoppolo. The crazy thing is, okay, the big news from the past like 2 weeks of the NFL has been like, are the 49ers actually good? And they played on Monday Night Football 2 Monday Night Football games ago against the Browns, and they torched them. They killed the Browns. And I tweeted during that game, because we had just watched Ex Machina recently, and I was like, the Browns are the worst Turing test to determine the validity of the 49ers, because you never know what the Browns are going to be when they show up.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're going to be, you don't know if they're going to explode or implode.
Turing test is probably a litmus test.
But I had just watched Ex Machina, so it was like,
Turing
well, no, because are the 49ers real?
Okay.
That's the Turing test thing. Are they real? Are they a real boy?
Yeah, because you kind of have, it's like two AIs.
Yeah, exactly. But like, we know what the Browns are. They're chaos. They're pure chaos. We know that we're never going to know with the Browns. I think Freddie Kitchens might be one and done there. It's been rough.
No, you need a known value.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can't have
to gauge the 49ers, we need the Patriots or somebody like that. Or the Seahawks.
You can't have two.
They play the Seahawks either this week or next week, I think. That's going to be a true test.
You need a fixed variable.
Exactly. So I tweeted that during that game, and they like killed the Browns. They looked amazing. Their defensive front was just murdering Baker all night. Their running game is exotic and varied and fun to watch. Yeah, very exotic running game. A lot of eye candy, a lot of very like nerdy football shit in their run game. That's awesome. I don't know if you saw Nick Bosa, do the flag plant celebration after he sacked Baker.
I didn't see that.
So when they were in college, Oklahoma went to Ohio State and won, and Baker Mayfield planted the Oklahoma flag in the middle of the O. And Joey Bosa sacked him, and he did like a fake flag plant celebration. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the Rams are in the division with the Seahawks and the 49ers, who are both seem really good. I think the Seahawks are going to win that division because the crazy thing about the 49ers being 5-0 or 6-0, whatever they're at now, is that they've done it and Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't had to really do anything yet. We still don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is good at all. It's super weird. He's played less than a full season as a starter, or I think he just had his 16th game. He's like 13-3 as a starter, but we have no idea if he's actually a good quarterback. It's wild. So I'm really excited to see him play like better teams. If they can play a team who actually stops the run and makes him have to try to beat them, if then he steps up to that task, the 49ers are scary. We'll see. Mm-hmm. They also have a super hyped defensive coordinator who's this jacked bald dude who's always screaming on the sideline and like getting super hype. He's fun to watch. Anyway. The Dolphins won the tank off. I don't know how it works. Did we win?
Are they still defeated?
Yes, we lost. So it was Coach Flores tried to win that game. He benched Josh Rosen, put Ryan Fitzpatrick back in after benching Fitzpatrick after 2 weeks. Fitzpatrick leads 2 touchdown drives, and then we go for 2 to try to win the game instead of tie the game and go to overtime. And we threw a really stupid screen pass that Kenyon Drake dropped anyway, and he would have been tackled even if he caught it. A lot of people were like, "Oh man, that's like the ultimate tank move: is you come right to the edge,
right,
and then you make a bad play,
like,
have a bad play call to win the game." But the coaching staff clearly,
I guess we screwed up.
The coaching staff was clearly trying to win that game, and I understand like Brian Flores is in such a hard position. Like, think about the position Brett Brown was in for a really long time, and like having to keep his team and his guys bought into the vision, the long-term vision of the team, right? And into you as a leader. But you're just losing so much. It's a hard, path to walk. And Flores, I think he's trying his best. People haven't agreed with all of his decisions. I was disappointed in Josh Rosen. Because in my mind, I was like, this Redskins game is an interesting sort of pendulum point of the tank and like how desperate the tank is. If Josh Rosen went out there and played really well against another awful team and then, kept his job and he played well throughout the season, you might not have to take a quarterback, with the number 1 pick or whatever pick you end up getting. You can, use that to fix your offensive line, get a pass rusher. There's a lot of needs on the team. But yeah, he was pretty disappointing in that game. And I don't who knows if he'll see the field again this year. I don't know. Maybe Fitzmagic will happen and we'll win 3 games in a row by accident and Fitzpatrick throws for like 1,200 yards over 3 games. And it's like, well, fuck, Ryan. Why'd you do that? Dude, I saw like an early mock draft today that Pro Football Focus put out and I was mind blown.
Why?
Because the Dolphins have 3 picks in the first round. And they did it by current standing. So technically right now the Dolphins would have the number 2 pick.
Okay. Because there's another
The Bengals are awful as well. Yes. The Bengals and Redskins are accidentally tanking.
How accidentally tanking? Yeah. They just suck so bad.
Yeah, they're just that bad.
Right. The
Redskins just fired their coach last week.
So there's no lottery for the NFL.
No,
so
how you're the worst team, you get the first pick.
Yeah. So if you
are you saying if 2 teams went 0-16?
Why are the Bengals
whatever the tiebreakers are? It's
point spread or something. Like that?
No, it's I think it might be for playoffs. It's division record to get in. I don't know what it is in reverse is the problem, right? So to get in, it's like your division. It's not by seeding like the NBA is. If you win your division, you're a top 4 seed. Mm-hmm. And then the division is determined by, if you have tie, it's determined by division record. And then it goes into like weird shit. I think it goes into like conference record and then weird like point shit. It might be conference record. Maybe they've lost more AFC games than the Dolphins have so far. I don't know. But currently the Dolphins have the number 2 pick. The PFF mock draft had the Dolphins taking 0 quarterbacks with 3 of their picks. I was like, this is fucking bananas. Mm-hmm. They had the number 1 pick. This is what really blew my mind. They said Bengals number 1 pick, Joe Burrow, the LSU quarterback, the dude who's torching everybody, just torched the Gators last week. He's been really fucking good. He might be, a top 5, top 10 quarterback. He might be the number 1 quarterback. I don't know. I'd like to see him play a defense that actually pressures him because the Gators couldn't. Asterisk, Jonathan Grenard and Jabari Zuniga were not playing. Mm-hmm. I need people to realize that. People talking about they shut down the Gators' vaunted passers. They weren't playing. That's why. Anyway. But then I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Dolphins number 2 pick, Tua. Slide right in. That's who we want.
Right.
He was like, But yeah, I was like, number 2 pick, Tua, obviously. They put like an offensive lineman or something or defensive end or something. And I was like, his little blurb was like, if it's not the guy, why do it? And I was like, but Tua is the guy. Like, it's tank for Tua.
Exactly.
He didn't have Tua go until like 12th. I was like, this is a weird... And then on the Twitter replies, people were like, you're trash. LOL. This is dumb. Like, it was just people trashing them. But it was like... I was just like, this is weird. I don't like this. I'm in on... The Tua debate is weird in the tank community. Like, the people that are anti-Tua weird me out.
Why is that?
Because their one argument is that Tua is never tested. and that you can't trust his numbers in his film because Alabama only plays bad teams. And I'm like, he's been playing for Alabama for 2.5 seasons in the SEC.
Yeah.
He plays great defenses all the time.
Right.
Maybe so far this season he hasn't played a great team yet. I don't know Alabama's schedule. Also, when he was a true freshman, he got put in the championship game at halftime and led like a 28-point comeback. Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. And then the thing they point to is, well, he got trashed in the Clemson game. He was hurt. Like Patrick Mahomes the past 2 weeks hasn't looked like the best quarterback ever because he's hurt. His ankle's messed up. He can't move. Tua's knee had a problem. He couldn't move. It helps to be healthy. Like, you can't base your whole opinion on a prospect based on a game or a stretch of 2 or 3 games where they were playing injured.
Mm-hmm. How big is Tua?
I think he's like a normal size quarterback, like 6'2" or 6'3".
Oh, okay. Yeah. For some reason, I have it in my head that he's smaller.
It's because he looks like a child because he's like 6 years younger than us.
Well, yeah. But I think I also might just be thinking about Kyler Murray.
He's very small.
Yeah, he's small.
Also playing really well the past couple weeks. Yeah,
that's good.
Let's move on to some movie stuff.
Yeah, let's do that.
I did not expect to go on a football rant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we watched a couple trailers. Let's start with the last one we watched. Disney, it worked so nice you do it twice. We've got a theme park. We got rides in the theme park. Let's make a movie based off a theme park ride. They did it with Pirates of the Caribbean. It worked great.
Yeah.
How about for 1.5 movies? 2 movies?
What's the second movie?
Isn't Pirates 2? Pirates 2 has the wheel scene.
Yeah, but
that's a cool scene.
I think there's cool scenes in a lot of the Pirates movies.
True. Actually, I liked the most recent one. The one, or was it the one before? I don't remember.
I haven't seen On Stranger's
The third
House.
one is the only one that I will say is actually terrible. The rest
World's
are...
End?
I don't remember. I think so. Dead Man's Chest, is that one?
How many fucking...
There's like 5 of them.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot. Anyway, they're making now Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt, which, charming duo. That's fun. Big fan. I really like Emily Blunt a lot. She's a fantastic actress. Mm-hmm. She seems to be basically playing Indiana Jones based on the trailer.
I got more of like a Jane from Tarzan kind of vibe.
Oh, interesting. Is it because of the accent?
I think the accent, the garb.
True. I mean, that's just era.
True.
Like, Jane is kind of like a, what's the word? Airhead?
Yeah.
I don't think Emily Blunt had that vibe in this trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
She seemed more competent and adventurous.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jane's an artist.
Did you find any of that trailer funny?
I kind of liked when she landed in the army guys. That was kind of silly. Nothing was like laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
It was like...
It seems really childish.
I think it... It kind of probably is. Do you remember the Jungle Cruise ride? I feel like I've been on it, but I don't remember it.
No, I don't remember.
You know what I did kind of like? I liked the bit that The Rock runs a jungle cruise in the middle of a jungle that is fake danger.
Yeah.
That's a fun bit.
It's
basically a theme park ride.
I would agree with you there.
He has like the fake tribesmen and stuff like that. That's a good bit. The rest of it just looks like a Rock movie. Like, all Rock movies are starting to look the same.
Uh-huh.
Or probably have always looked the same.
I wasn't a huge fan of the recurring bit of like him being obsessed with money.
Yeah, that wasn't like, that landed flat.
Yeah.
That landed flat. I like his hat. It's a nice hat.
Solid hat.
Jesse Plemons is in it.
And there's a few.
Paul Giamatti is in it.
Yeah.
Odds Paul Giamatti plays a talking animal.
Oh, that might.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if there was one in the ride or not.
This movie, I don't really care.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's just.
It's one of those movies where if it comes out and people are like, "This movie is really good," I'll go see it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, how about Pixar's next venture? First, so this is the beginning of the run of new original IPs from Pixar, Onward, and I think we talked about it before when the teaser trailer came out. But this was like the first full trailer, I think, or official trailer, whatever the fuck they call them now. What did you think of like actually getting to know the plot a little bit better?
It seems really fucking fun.
It looks really fun.
It seems really fun.
By the way, Tom Holland doing an incredible Jay Baruchel voice.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Yeah, I love the Pixar's version of Weekend at Bernie's going on. Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny bit.
And I'm always like intrigued when Pixar takes on something that you think is kind of familiar, and the way that they can be creative with it. You know what I mean, like,
is it the urban fantasy thing you think is familiar?
Yeah, it's something.
See, I feel like urban fantasy is kind of untapped.
Right.
There's not a lot of good urban fantasy stuff that you can point to.
Right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems familiar.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like really like there's no.
Well, I mean, the whole, our dad was a wizard. We get to spend, like, that's kind of a familiar sort of tropey thing, but
right.
I think the setting is unique.
True.
The Dingus brother and the Shy brother, that's kind of tropey.
I think it's kind of like the, where are all the good werewolf movies thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen.
You're like, you're like another fucking werewolf movie. There's so many. Wait,
hold on.
There's not.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of felt like that with Inside Out.
Okay.
I kind of got a
fucking
little bit
great movie.
It's fucking incredible. I love Inside Out.
It's an amazing movie.
I saw an article on Reddit the other day. I'm pretty sure it was in Our Psychology,
mm-hmm.
and they were talking about how Inside Out is like affecting children and depression.
Really?
And sadness, and how they're dealing with sadness.
In a good way?
In a good way.
Okay, good. Our storage problems are fixed.
Yeah.
Tell me about Inside Out.
All right. So I didn't read the entire article, but basically...
Classic Reddit user.
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking lazy piece of shit. But basically, like, there's been studies tracking children's fucking sadness and how they deal with fucking depression. And Inside Out is, like, positively affected how kids are dealing with sadness by basically... because they're able to visualize sadness outside of themselves, right? Basically, like, characterizing sadness as a character, and understanding the benefits of sadness and expressing your sadness with the people that you love, right? Is fucking having people being depressed for shorter amounts of time.
Wow.
Right? And it's kind of this idea that, like, it's leading to this sort of interesting idea where people are examining how our language is affecting our moods. And so basically, like, in English, right, in order for you to express sadness, right, you say,
I'm bummed.
Well, I am sad, right? Which is the same thing as saying, I am Chris, right?
It defines you.
Well, you're identifying with the sadness, right? Whereas, like, in separate languages, I'm pretty sure...
like Chinese or something, it would be like sadness holds me or something like that?
So basically, like, I want to say the example that they used was in, like, certain dialects of fucking Irish.
Okay.
That basically what you say is, I have sadness on me.
Okay.
It's kind of like a T-shirt that you wear.
Okay.
And that sort of depersonalization of it, and, like, de-identification with the sadness allows you to externalize it, and in order to deal with it better.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it was fucking fascinating. I was like, oh shit.
We should work on the way we think about our emotions.
But also not fascinating enough for me to read
the whole article. Well, was it like a jargony article, or was it?
I don't know why I didn't read the rest of the article.
Yeah, whatever.
I probably just went to some D&D shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I approve. I approve. That's super interesting. Good for you, Inside Out, and children growing up with Inside Out in their lives. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why did we were talking about Onward, and you were talking about how Inside Out felt like something familiar but different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like, I always get really excited when I see Pixar making something, period, right?
Yeah.
But whenever they make something that's completely original, as far as
not a sequel to one of their other original ideas,
or a spin-off or anything like that. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Onward.
Yeah, I'm
it looks
excited.
really fun.
I'm excited. It looks like a ton of
the
fun.
idea of their fucking dad as just a pair of slacks
It's
is really
funny.
hilarious.
It's
really
funny.
hilarious. So yeah, not as excited for the third trailer that we watched.
Birds of Prey?
And the Fantabulous
Listen.
Emancipation Proclamation.
Birds of
annexation
Prey and the
Puerto Rico.
Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Oh, of one Harley Quinn.
Of one Harley Quinn.
Not of Harley Quinn.
Listen, why isn't this movie just called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey? Or just Harley Quinn, for that matter? Okay. I don't think the movie looks bad. I think it could be good. Ewan McGregor's in it. He has, I think, a line of dialogue in the trailer. You know who doesn't? Frickin' Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's in your movie. Show us.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Jessie Smollett Ball? The girl from Friday Night Lights? She's in it. She got one line of dialogue. You know what it is? Harley.
Yeah. Margot Robbie's face takes up like 90% of
Yeah.
the screen time. In
I
this
mean,
entire
I can't
trailer.
blame you for that.
Yeah, sure.
I get it.
It's fine. There's nothing here for me to really get
There's some
excited.
stuff here for me. I'm really mad about Cassandra. Just want to throw that out there.
I don't know who that
the
is.
girl at the end who's like, "You're that crazy bitch," that Asian girl.
Uh-huh.
She is apparently Cassandra Cain, one of the versions of Batgirl from DC Comics.
Okay.
You want to know what her story is in the comics? She's raised by frickin' two supervillains that are assassins, Lady Shiva and something Kane. I can't remember his first name. And she has, she was abused by her father, and she doesn't speak. She only speaks, very rarely. And, her whole thing is she's, silent, but she's super deadly. And she's, very empathetic. She can understand someone's intentions based on physical movement. She has, empathy through movement. It's really interesting. She's just, a fucking weird teenager.
Is she played by the girl who plays B Smooth in fucking?
I don't know who that is.
In 2K17, there was,
I have no idea.
there's this character named B Smooth. I want to say, but she's like your best friend throughout the entire My Player career mode.
Journey Smollett Ball. That's the name of the girl I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Be Smooth. I don't know.
She's also in a different TV show that I started. That I watched
She was
a
in
little bit
Veep
with Kate,
apparently, and Grey's Anatomy. No, it's not her.
Okay.
That would have been a weird pool, though. I would have been impressed. Yeah, I just I kind of, there's stuff about it that I'm that could be the idea that in lore wise, right? Black Mask, Ewan McGregor, Harley Quinn and the Joker break up or whatever, and then he's like, "Oh no, she's mine now." He gets her a hyena. I like the hyena. That's
cool.
good. Well, it's a thing. Holly has hyenas. It's a thing. She's doing the Lady and the Tramp thing with the licorice. I mean, that's cool. I like that. I don't know why there's a weird theater performance going on. That's kind of weird.
It could be cool.
It could be cool. I don't.
That's my thoughts on the entire.
There's just some
thing.
stuff about it that I'm
could be cool.
"Oh, why? Why are we worshiping Harley Quinn as a character? Why is Cassandra Cain a freaking normal, not crazy assassin person? Why doesn't Mary Elizabeth Winstead have any lines in this trailer? You can barely even see her. There's one shot where you're like, oh, that's her. She has a helmet on. So you still don't know it's her. You know what shot I do like? There's a shot of Black Canary singing, Journey Smollett Ball singing,
and then
the martini glass is shaking. That's cool.
It's subtle.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I will. I mean, I'm gonna see it. I'm fucking. I can't help myself. I have to. I'm gonna see it.
Kind of a masochist.
Kind of. I mean, but maybe it won't be terrible. Maybe it'll be fine. I don't think it's gonna be great or anything. I think it could be fine. It could be fun for sure. Suicide Squad was bad, but it was fun. Suicide Squad 2 will be better. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
James Gunn.
So. Yeah.
You know what else? They did the fucking let's list 12 actors that are in this movie at the end of this trailer. And I'm like, but all we saw was Harley. What are you doing? I don't understand the promotion going on. I mean, I understand it, but I don't like it. That's more in line. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know better DC news?
What's that?
Zoe Kravitz being cast.
Almost Zazie.
Almost Zazie B. She was in the running. I got my Z's mixed up. Zoe Kravitz was cast as Catwoman in the upcoming The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Mr. Reeves. I think the David Wright casting was official as well as Jim Gordon. Or Jeffrey Wright. Sorry, not David Wright. Jeffrey Wright.
Who's David Wright?
I don't know.
Is he a pitcher?
That is very much just a super normal name that could be anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think
Jeffrey Wright from Westworld.
the final four of that Catwoman spot, I would have been cool with any decision they went with. It was Ana de Armas, Zazie Beetz, Zoe Kravitz, and Asa Gonzalez from Baby Driver. And also in the Fast and Furious movie that just came out. She was in that too. Hobbs and Shaw. I would have been cool with any of them as Catwoman. All good choices. They went with Ms. Kravitz. I didn't even realize. I got confused because a lot of the comments were like, Catwoman is Aquaman's stepdaughter. And I was like, trying to make the movie connection of like, what was Jason Momoa in that he was married to someone where Zoe Kravitz has played their daughter? And I was like, oh, wait, no, he means in real life. Zoe Kravitz's real life mom is married to Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you think that's cool? Also Jonah Hill. We talked about that. The cast is. I'm excited. Like I was already excited because of Matt Reeves, and then the Robert Pattinson thing like really intrigued me and still does.
Mm-hmm.
And the more casting announcements that come out, the more excited I'm getting. Also, I saw a report. Apparently, they're planning to do a Matt Reeves trilogy. Cool. Apparently, they're planning to involve my boy, Nightwing.
Who would you want to play Nightwing?
No idea. I think, honestly, like an unknown person.
Yeah?
I think so. You always see like Kit Harington and like weird people like that. And
That
I'm
makes
like, Kit Harington could work.
Right.
But the problem is Kit Harington a one-trick pony? Is Kit Harington's thing being, what's the word?
Stoic?
Stoic.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be Nightwing. He's the opposite of that. He's like Spider-Man. He's quippy and fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not broody.
No.
I don't know. I don't really know shit
No,
about
dude. It's
Nightwing,
like
dude.
Nightwing is like if you smushed Batman and Spider-Man together, kind of.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's why I like him so much.
Yeah, Batman's more broody.
Yeah.
Batman's broody.
Batman's broody, but he has good one-liners. Like he's sneaky funny.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's kind of deadpan.
Yeah, very deadpan humor. Very deadpan. Kevin Conroy is like the king of it in the animated stuff of Batman's deadpan humor.
Yeah. All right, so I'll just spit Shia LaBeouf as Nightwing.
No.
Shia
LaBeouf should have been cast as Carnage, not Woody Harrelson.
Okay, why?
I just think he'd be really good at it.
All right.
He's already nuts. He's already a real-life cannibal.
All right. Quick yes or no. Quick yes or no.
Okay.
For Nightwing.
Lightning round.
Michael Cera.
Oh, only Shaft, not Nightwing.
Timothy Chalamet.
Ooh. I think he'd have to get bigger is the problem. He's so frail looking.
Is Nightwing's a little...
I mean, he's a fucking superhero. He's got to be
He's a superhero, right? But like...
He's an acrobat. He's got to be built like an acrobat.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
He can be short.
And like you can be kind of
Lithe.
lean, right?
Lean, lithe.
Right?
Yeah. You got to believe that dude
Svelte?
can do a bunch of flips.
Would you say Nightwing
Sure.
is svelte?
Well, I mean, like, okay, so like...
I don't know how to spell
You
svelte.
don't... SVELTE.
SVELT.
Yeah. You don't... You said you don't know a lot about Nightwing. One of like the most... It's like a running joke. But one of the things that everyone who draws Nightwing like kind of has to do, it's like an unwritten rule, is you have to draw an ass shot of Nightwing. Because like in universe, it's like a running thing is that he has like an amazing ass.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like a super hot boy.
Right.
Which I mean, we've seen Kit Harington's butt before. It's nice.
Nice booty.
Solid butt.
Solid booty. I would have full confidence in Timothy Chalamet.
Timothée.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I would almost prefer to see Timothy Chalamet play like one of the other Robins, like Tim Drake.
Okay.
Tim Drake's like the strategist.
Who's like the most distraught Robin?
Probably Jason Todd, but like Jason Todd will fuck you up. He's probably like the biggest Robin, I would imagine.
Oh, okay.
Damian is like a little bitch.
Because like Timothy Chalamet's got like some like James Dean in him, you know?
Yeah.
Like where
Well,
he's
we talked about that with
he's always like on the brink of crying.
Miss, what was that called? Miss Banks? Miss
Stevens.
Banks. Yeah, where he does that like dancing scene in that movie. His Netflix movie is coming out soon, I think. Where he plays the king. Joel Edgerton wrote and directed, or only did one or the other, and is starring in it as well. I'm excited to watch that. But yeah, Timothy Chalamet is interesting. One, he gives me mad Joaquin Phoenix vibes. Like he'd be like three movie deal. I'm out. No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Right.
He's above it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know though. Maybe he would be interesting.
Understandable.
You see Logan Lerman on fan cast. It's like I like Logan Lerman a lot, but I don't think he's that character. Also, you have to age-wise, you have to line it up well. Like Robert Pattinson's pretty young. I don't think they'll do Robin. I don't know if they're going to do like a Robin movie and then he becomes Nightwing, or if he's just going to have his. I don't know how it's going to work. Mm-hmm. But if he's Robin when they introduce him, it's going to have to be like a kid, like a real teenager. Not like
would you want a Tom Holland type?
Tom Holland, but dark hair. Yeah, Tom Holland. Like honestly, would be really good at it. Yeah, yeah. If Peter Parker was more sexual, that would be Tom Holland's hill to climb. He's so cute. Can he be sexy? You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
I don't know if we're going to land on the answer here. No, I don't know if you're going to keep brainstorming.
Nope.
But like Tom Holland is the right body type. He's probably around the right age range. But he also has like a much higher profile gig. You know. That Nightwing suit looked good though. It's a dope ass suit.
I mean, are we excluding young black actors from
I mean,
would you be okay?
Not necessarily, but there's a new character named Duke Thomas who's a Robin who's black.
What about like Shamik Moore?
Became the Signal. Ooh, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I think that like the Robins could do with they all look the same, shake it up a little bit. It'd be interesting. I mean, my dream is like a Bat Family movie where they're all in it.
All the Robins?
All the Robins. All the Batgirls.
Yeah.
Batman. Catwoman. Just get them all up in there.
I don't know if I could name you all the Robins.
There's 4 of them. Well, 5.
Tim Drake.
Yep.
Dick Grayson.
Yep.
Robin Hood.
I've literally said all their names already on this podcast.
Drake and Josh.
Nope. You already did Tim Drake.
Drake Graham.
One of them is Batman's son, so there's your last name.
Oh, Damian Wayans.
Yep, Damian Wayans. Yeah, Damian Wayne, and then Red Hood is Jason Todd. And then like in Batman Returns or Dark Knight Returns, Carrie Kelly is like Robin, kind of. She has a slingshot. She gets up to some weird shit. Duke Thomas was Robin in a weird alternate future storyline, but in current timeline, he never became Robin. He became known as the Signal, and he wears like a yellow suit. I don't know what he's up to right now in the canon. I read a fuck ton of comics this past week. I started diving into the Rebirth storylines. Rebirth was like their what's the word?
Reboot?
Kind of. They sort of coalesced their timelines, sort of. They were like, let's bring everything together and make it more like as one.
Collated?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So for like, there was like 2 Supermans for a little bit, and I was like, that's weird. And then they killed one because they were like, we don't want 2 Supermans. But yeah, I've been reading a fuck ton of comics. But these I like back from 2016, so I'm gonna catch up. I've got a whole Excel sheet with just all of the ones I want to read and like all the the last issue I read, so I know and I can go back to it and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you, DC
a lot of
Universe,
comics.
for having so many comics on you.
It's a lot of comics.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it, though. I love comics. I love comic books.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Do a shout out.
All right, my shout out is kind of weird. He's a composer that I like a lot. His name is I just thought it was Arvo Part.
But then I googled how do you pronounce A with 2 dots on it?
Yeah.
Like air.
It may or may not
air.
be. It may or may not be Arvo Paired.
I think it's Arvo Paired.
Paired?
It said
I'm gonna say
pronounce it
Arvo,
like air.
I'm gonna say Arvo Part because it's gonna be easier for you to find.
That's
him that
true.
way.
That's true.
Yeah, Arvo is his first name.
ARVO.
Part, like
P A with 2 dots RT.
exactly. Like the first 4 letters of Parthenon. I don't know why that came into my head. He's a Estonian minimalist composer.
Estonian?
He's from Estonia.
Oh, Estonian.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you meant like Stone Age. Like he only used rocks to make his music.
We have recordings from that time. No, he's from Estonia, and he is a minimalist composer. Has a lot of just like really slow music, easy to write to. Anybody who's looking for like good writing music,
Little soundtrack,
and you're getting sick of fucking lo-fi hip hop beats.
Yep, that's the go-to. That's the go-to. That and medieval soundtrack.
Fucking fantasy board gaming.
Yeah.
Arvo Paired.
However you say it. My shout out is friends of the show. A couple. You've never met Rachel, I don't think, but you know Karina.
Yeah.
Friends of the show, Karina Kolb and Rachel Peacock launched a new podcast about a month ago called Peninsula Obscura.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, I think it's a really fun idea. They go into like the weird stories of Florida. They cover everything from like true crime to like supernatural shit.
Right.
And they talk about weird stories from Florida.
And you said Peninsula Obscura.
Peninsula Obscura.
Right. P as in Parthenon.
The Obscure Peninsula. The weird state. Yeah, it's a very fun idea. They are friends of the show. We wish them nothing but success and luck and fun.
I've listened to the trailer.
Nice.
So far.
Was it a good trailer?
Yeah, it was a good trailer. Solid. I was like, this is a cool idea for a podcast.
It's a great idea. Because one, they're smart and fun people, and two, Florida's weird as fuck. There's a lot of weird stories. Yeah, they're way smarter than us too. Like they're gonna be way more prepared and well researched and thought out and structured and better. Yeah. So check out Peninsula Obscura. I know it's on Spotify. I don't know if it's on other podcasting places or not. Yeah, but check them out. And Arvo Paired, spelled part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be it. What are we doing next week? Ooh, I'm excited. Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, my God.
No, this, I guess technically the poll winner will come out. Hocus Pocus.
Yep. Which I am excited for.
Yeah, I have to watch it. I have to watch it.
You gotta watch it tonight.
And then next week we will do Jojo Rabbit, which I'm super hyped for. I'm very excited for that movie. I saw like the newest trailer before I saw whatever movie I saw at the movie theater last, and I hadn't seen that trailer yet, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, this movie looks great." Yeah, so come back for those spoiler episodes. Find us on the social medias. Chris has a website where you can read his scripts, chrismichaelstott.com. He's on Instagram at chrismichaelstott. I am on Twitter and Instagram, davinwell25. The show, The Chris and Kyle Show, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the podcasting platforms. Yeah, hit us up, like, share, rate, review, all that fun stuff. We out.
We out. Stay weird.